like you said, it's now become this sort of purity test, and the archaeological offence, which is very social media. It's like, well, do you remember in 2021 when you happened to say this?
Welcome to the woke right. The woke right is worse than the woke left.
It is.
It's absolutely
evil.
astronomical.
Oh my God, I am like
and it's all built on fragility. Because I say this, the problem of populism, and we've always talked about it, is you've got to give a vision of what you're in favour of, not what you are against.
But
the longer you define yourself as against something, you get to have the purity testing.
But the irrationality, that's where the sort of woke prefix comes from, the irrationality, the radicalisation. I'm literally watching people being radicalised in real time. It's quite frightening. But you can't have a debate with them. You can't say a certain thing or suggest something, but they come after you like the devil. And I'm literally now, I just say, here's a little, just a message to anyone out there who goes down the comment sections under my post, just to let you know, OK? I'm very happy, very mentally secure. Never had an antidepressant or, appointment with a doctor of the noggin ever in my life. I'm not an alcoholic. I like a glass of wine and a gin and tonic, but I drink responsibly. Every now and then I let myself go a little bit, but not before I start tweeting. My love life's great. Thank you very much. I am, very happy and enjoying myself. So thank you for your concerns.
When you do talk about the woke right go absolutely nuts at you, which is what happened with the woke left when you said there was a woke left. So it's a hard one. There are slight differences. I suppose the difference might be that they're not blue-haired. They don't have nose piercings. But if the woke left were only about blue hair and nose piercings, I don't think we'd mind them so much. It's just a fashion statement.
It's about identity politics, though, isn't it?
Identity politics and victimhood, I think, which is why also, OK, lots of people were having a go at me this week. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I don't like to lean into the victimhood of it. And I know people on all sides of politics do that a little bit, and it doesn't help. We've all got a friend at home or whatever who's overly victim-y, and no one ever goes like, oh, we must really help them. Everyone goes, oh, God, I'm tired of this. So I don't think it helps politically either to do the whole victimhood thing.
See, here's the thing. They're talking about the woke right, these two. So it's Alex Phillips with Pete Barnes and Andrew Gold on GB News a little while ago, that clip. I'm talking about the woke right. What they're actually talking about is Restore supporters. Online, purity testing and all this kind of stuff. Like they are somehow thinking that, I don't know quite how they correlate this to being woke. I really don't know. It seems a bit strange to me. However, I do actually believe that there is a woke right. I think the woke right is actually more likely reform. Certainly their supporters, people like Alex Phillips, people like Andrew Gold, they are literally woke, because these are people who will talk about demographic replacement. They'll talk about the kind of immigrants that have been brought into the country. They're from the third world. They don't accept our culture. They don't fit into our culture. They don't integrate. We have huge communities that won't integrate, blah, blah, blah. So they'll talk about all these issues. They'll talk about the effect that a lot of these cultures is having on our own culture. Again, the demographic replacement, that we're appearing as minorities in multiple cities and towns. They talk about all these things. However, this term woke right doesn't really exist at this point when they're talking about this kind of stuff. However, when a party comes along that actually offers the rhetoric and the detailed policy that shows us how we can legally, democratically, safely, free, fair elections to actually be able to reverse it, to protect the native demographic of this nation. Apparently this term now appears. Well, we're woke right for wanting that. That somehow these people, again, that party come along, which is obviously Restore, that is, coming up with the policies, detailed policies on how we actually fix this problem, how we reverse it, how we correct course, how we prevent our people from becoming a minority. And what does Andrew Gold do? What does Alex Phillips do? Even Pete Barnes, I guess. They call you racist. They call you white supremacist. They call you neo-Nazi. They call you all these things because these are their buzzwords. Very woke to me. So, as I say, as far as I'm concerned, the woke right, yes, it does exist, but it's not Restore supporters. It seems more like Reform supporters who certainly do want to gatekeep the continued influx of foreigners into our country. I mean, in Andrew's case, I can kind of understand it. He's worried that we might want to deport the 300,000 Jews, which, as far as I'm aware, Restore are not offering to do that. 300,000 Jews is neither here nor there, and they do integrate pretty well. So, as I say, the woke right, yeah, it does exist, but it ain't Restore supporters, it's Reform supporters. Anyway, drop a comment down below, like and subscribe if you fancy. Anyway, let me know what you think. Cheers. Thanks, guys.